This is Joey from Downtown Boys, and you're listening to KTSW San Marcos.
Coming at you live from the KTSW studios in San Marcos, Texas, this is Bobcat Radio.
Well, guys, we got ourselves a pretty good show today, I would say.
Parker, I can't believe I'm saying this. I kind of miss you singing in every intro.
You know I'm not allowed to do that. I've been gotten word from up top, and without going into detail, they threaten my life if I sing again. So, without going into much detail, I'm just not allowed to sing. But you know what, guys? As we start the show, I do want to tell people that we do have a special guest with us. That is Brendan Snow. Into the broadcast. Brendan, say hello real quick.
Haven't been here for a while. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Miss you guys.
How you been, man? It seems like it's been like a year.
I know, because we had the basketball game, spring break. I missed last week. Just haven't been here in a while, but great to be back. I know you guys miss me. I miss you guys a little bit.
And we also have Reed Graff as well. Reed, where have you been, buddy?
I've been here. I've been doing a lot of baseball stuff.
You've always been here. That's right. I forget. I forget who's here and who's not here. But we also have Texas State's very own award-winning sportscaster Cordell Patrick, who is calling in, and I just want to welcome him to the show. Cordell, how you doing, man?
Fine. What's going on, gentlemen?
Doing good.
Just call me Nostradamus after my prediction last week that my Kansas Jayhawks make it to the Final Four. So you guys just call me Nost for the rest of the show.
I will. Nost. Okay, I will. Hey, that's fair. I think that's fair.
Duly noted.
Fair, right?
Hey,
that's not asking too much.
Hey, Cordell, I got to tell you something. Your Kansas Jayhawks are looking pretty good right now, but I have to say, man, looking at Villanova, that's going to be a tough test for you guys coming up.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. I got a special guest on the other line. Watch your mouth. Be careful.
I will.
Be careful. With that said, I'd like to welcome to the sports line a good friend of mine, a Kansas native. Hold on. I had to rent a band for this. Hold on 1 second.
Hey, Cordell, with the effects, man. I like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the hotline. A Kansas native, University of Kansas, a two-time All-American, first-round draft pick of the Portland Trailblazers, and a huge Kansas Jayhawks fan. DV, Darnell Valentine, my main man.
Oh, that is awesome.
You guys go all out, man. This is kind of cool. This is full blast.
Hey, Darnell, I had to pay for that band, man. I did it for you.
Well, I appreciate it. Anytime, we can get some exposure and share in the fun and the joy, we want to be at that party.
Exactly. Darnell, as I said, he's a Wichita native. As you guys know, I grew up in Topeka High, so Darnell is a graduate of Wichita Heights High School and one of the premier basketball high schools in the state of Kansas. I attended Topeka Highland Park, one of the other premier basketball powers in the state of Kansas. But we're going to talk KU basketball. Darnell, we may save a minute at the end of the show for the other three teams, but we're going to do KU right now. Now, you were one of the all-time great guards at the University of Kansas. I mean, University of Kansas has a list of great guards. We can go all the way back to JoJo White. You've got yourself. You've got Devontae Graham this year playing outstanding. What is your take on Devontae Graham and the play that he's distributed for the Jayhawks?
Devontae has done a tremendous job. I think, you left out Frank Mason.
Frank Mason last year.
I mean, for him to step in out of the shadow of a Frank Mason and take over the team like he has, it's a testament to his willingness to learn from what Frank was able to do last year and to step forward, because he's really altered his game. Early in his career at KU, I didn't think that he had the skill set to be a pure point guard. He was just maybe a catch and shoot guy. This year, he's really have embarked on a journey that's taking his career. It's going to take his career to the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Now, I grew up. Let me see. In my new Jaguar XJ, I could be at the University of Kansas campus about 15 minutes from my mother's house, and I was telling the young cats about the venue at Allen Fieldhouse. I call it the number one sports venue in the world, not the country, in the world. I mean, the history there is amazing. Tell us about playing at Allen Fieldhouse Darnell, you played there for all 4 years. Tell us about what happens when you walk into that place and you look up and you read that sign, "Beware the fog."
Oh, from the days that I played till now, back when I played, it was electric. Now, as I go back and as Bill he's always engaged and reached out to former players. It's such a connection. But now, as I go back into that arena, and it's not electric, it's explosive now. The scoreboard, just the energy, the history. I mean, you walking. I was looking at some notes just this morning in preparation. You look at, we won championships in 1922 when it wasn't even the NCAA.
Exactly.
And then you go up to 52 with Clyde Lavella, and then our last championship was in 08. But the consistency of excellence, and when you walk in that arena, that's what just smacks you in the face. It's like it's a beautiful thing.
And I always have to correct people because they always say Kansas, the Jayhawks, have won 3 national titles. Incorrect. They've won 3 NCAA crowns. As you said, come on, we're one of the oldest institutions for playing basketball. Well, heck, basketball was invented on that campus. So, I mean, like you said, the 2 championships before the NCAA ever came on the scene. But the place is electric. I was telling the guys a couple of weeks ago, I was down visiting my family a couple of years ago, and when I worked in Kansas City, part of the work in media, I couldn't do a lot of things. So when I took a trip back home, I said, you know what? I'm getting the picture. I'm going to stand on the Jayhawk at Allen Fieldhouse and get a picture, and I don't care what they say. So,
Patrick, what has really resonated with me as I've gotten back, as I've gotten older, is the fact that initially, when you leave, you don't understand the impact.
You're exactly right. You are so right.
The impact of being at KU for me.
Right.
I didn't understand how meaningful it was, but it is so profoundly a part of who I am today. I'm so proud and I'm so thankful that I'm as a young man, you're on top of the world and you're like, the world revolves around me, but as you start understanding what life is about and the connection and the camaraderie and the love that there has been at Kansas for me, it's a profoundly a part of my life, and I'm so thankful to have been a part of that tradition.
Now, I mentioned earlier, I played at Texas State University, so some of my teammates, we just had a Bobcat reunion with former players about 3 weeks ago. I was back down in San Marcos, Texas. Do you know what some of the guys on my team, my teammates who played at Texas State, you know what their bucket list is? They want me to take them to Allen Fieldhouse.
That's real because that's basketball mecca.
It is, exactly.
And it's so funny, and the thing that separates Kansas from other universities, I was talking to, here in Portland, I was talking to Larry Steele, who played at the University of Kentucky and was a big part of their early tradition. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what does Kentucky do for their former players? And he says, man, they do nothing. I mean, do you guys get together? Do they have every year, every 5 years, we have a big reunion at Kansas where everybody from every generation comes back.
Oh my God!
Way back in the 50s. And I said, Larry, you guys don't do that at Kentucky? He says, no. And right then, it dawned on me how special Allen Fieldhouse, Bill Self, Roy Williams, Larry Brown, all the great coaches that have come through there, how special that is.
You know what, I'm going to take time out after you said that to mention, and like you said, a lot of universities, most universities don't do that, so I just want to give kudos to the athletic department at Texas State University for putting together, along with some other people, T. Associate and a couple other cats, putting together that reunion weekend because that was the first time that I attended, and it was memorable to see the guys that you played with and some of the guys that played before you. It really stood out in my mind, Darnell. So I agree with you completely.
Yeah, it's one of those moments that you just it's one of those life branding moments that you don't forget.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Guys in the studio, go ahead, take over.
Hey, Cordell, first off, I think we need to go to a quick PSA break.
Okay.
But after that, we will come back and join the broadcast. But first, I have to tell you guys about the University Bookstore. Bobcat Radio is sponsored by the University Bookstore, located on the second floor of the LBJ Student Center. The University Bookstore provides support for Texas State programs, departments, events, and organizations. More info at bookstore.txstate.edu or at 245-2273. When we come back, we'll have some more Darnell Valentine and Cordell Patrick on the other line. You're listening to KTSW, San Marcos.
Today's children are soon to rule this great land we call Earth.
Which is why we should do everything we can to keep them on the path to be influential leaders.
The San Marcos Youth Service Bureau will ensure that today's youth excel in providing positive help for the world.
YSB has been operating for 40 years and focuses on tutoring, volunteer work in the community, and outdoor learning.
YSB will provide your child with positive role models and friends who will aid them in becoming the best person they could be.
For more information about this program, visit ysb.org.
A message from KTSW, the other side of radio.
Welcome to The Other Side Time Machine, a specialty show that highlights the other side of music from any given year. Selected genres include pop, rock, jazz, movie themes, and even music released in places other than America. You'll even get brief history insights to what life and music were like during that particular year and how that influenced future musicians. You'll never hear the same song twice. Tune in to Other Side Time Machine only on KTSW, Sundays from 10 p.m. to midnight with host Sean Mitchell. Initiating launch in 5, 4, 3, 2...
This is Cordell Patrick, Texas State alum, Texas State former basketball player, award-winning sportscaster. When I'm in town in San Marcos, I always listen to KTSW Radio.
All right, we have Cordell Patrick on the line with Kansas great and a first-round pick by the Portland Trailblazers, Darnell Valentine. And Darnell, I just wanted to ask you right off the bat. This is Parker Ray, by the way. I wanted to ask you. You know, you were going to compete in the 1980 Summer Olympics. I know that's cool when I saw that in one of the bios, and I thought that was cool. But you actually didn't get to go because of the boycott and stuff. I just want to know if you could actually walk us kind of through what it was like being picked for the Olympics and then not being able to compete.
As I reflect as I've gotten older, and I see how tremendously impactful that experience would have been. Though at the moment when you're young, one, competing and being chosen as at the collegiate level, one of the 12 guys who's going to represent your country in competing on a national stage, on an international stage. It's just one of those remarkable things that it was a tremendous accomplishment. I still have all my practice gear that I wore. I still have all my uniforms and my clothing, warm-up suits. They're a little out of fashion now, but they're still in my closet. They're still there, and they don't fit as well.
Hey, I don't know about that. I saw you about 5 years ago. Still look pretty in shape to me.
Well, yeah. But that experience, missing that experience, it's just mind-boggling. That's one of those things where politics should never enter athletics, but it always does. And it was just, I would have liked to have had that opportunity to say that we competed and we were able to win a gold medal for our company. No telling where that gold medal would be today. It would be, my house would be built around that gold medal, but it was a missed opportunity that I certainly regret, and I think all the Olympians, track, swimming, all the Olympians in every missed that opportunity for that, and it's something. Once the shades are drawn and the windows close, you can't get it back.
You know, Darnell, I appreciate when you said, I agree 100% when you said politics should not interfere with sports. I agree with that. I think sports is one of the pure things we have that everybody can kind of come around, and when politics interferes, that kind of just takes away from that. But I appreciate you saying that. I know Reed has probably a question for you.
Yeah, I do. So I grew up just outside of San Antonio, a little town called Hondo, and this entire area, and a lot of our listeners are big Spurs fans, obviously. You had a pretty solid 10-year NBA career. Anytime you can spend several years in the NBA, that's impressive in itself. Do you have any stories or just interactions from playing against the San Antonio Spurs, interacting with those players? Because there were some pretty good players throughout those years.
I certainly do, and I appreciate you give me an opportunity to compare how things used to be and how they are today. When we used to go down, I faced players like George Iceman Gervin. I had to penetrate and play against, shoot over Artis Gilmore.
Oh my God!
Play against the competitiveness of a Johnny Moore. The game was just so different. And as I look at the 3-point game and how it's changed, and how it's made it a small ball kind of game, and how if you're not a perimeter player, you really can't compete at this level anymore. You have to be like Shaq that can shoot. You have to be able to break dance as a big fella now. It's a small ball game, and the game is just. But I see how players get in the lane, and once they get past the primary defender, it's easy layups, and it just the physicality is just the game is just so different. But I have to share with you that one of my favorite stories was playing against San Antonio, and Iceman was a bad dude. He was a bad dude, and we tried to devise a defensive scheme against him. And so Jack Ramsey, who was my coach here at the Portland Trailblazers, my job was to pressure the Iceman as soon as we scored or as soon as we turned over the ball. So I had to pressure him. So I had to be in his face every step. And I said, now, Ice, man, now let me tell you something. I'm going to be a little irritant, but don't hit me. Don't hit me because my coach is telling me that this is what I need to do. So don't be swinging at me, okay? It's not part of me. And so Iceman said, little fella, don't worry about it. And he went on. He proceeded to go on and score 55 on us.
Oh.
And because we had this scheme, so that's one of my favorite stories that I share. How cool Iceman! He was just so cool.
Hey Darnell, if it makes you feel any better, we've only been doing this for a couple of weeks, and our first guest a couple of weeks ago was George Gervin. George was. I was honored enough to have George come on the show with me. So you're in rare air. You're like one of those. We're just gonna call you Darnell. Just if you get one name, you've made it. Like Iceman, like Darnell, Denzel, Cordell.
I'm gonna throw Parker in there. Parker. Oh, sorry.
That's awful kind of you. I just was thankful that I was able to do what I was able to do, where I was from, and I think for me to have maximized what I think were my skill levels were, I was just a role player, and I don't fantasize that I'm a one-name moniker kind of guy. but just to be able to come from Wichita, Kansas, and to be on that stage and accomplish what I were able to accomplish was a blessing. And it was a thrill for me.
I know Darnell's got to run, so we just got a couple of minutes. I just wanted to ask him a couple more questions before we get out of here. Darnell, as I mentioned earlier, Darnell is one of the top players in the state of Kansas. In 1976, Darnell, do you remember the Kansas All-State team, first team?
I don't. That takes me way back. I haven't looked at it, but once I'm refreshed, I'll be fine.
Okay, I know four. I can remember four of them. Yourself, Larry Drew.
Okay.
Currently interim head coach of Cleveland Cavaliers. Not bad company.
Oh, yeah.
Antoine Carr.
Okay.
Former San Antonio Spur. The fourth member, one James Patrick, my older brother. The seventh leading scorer at Texas State University. First team All-State with Darnell Valentine.
And let me tell you something. James, he was a tremendous athlete.
Yes, he was.
The way he started playing above the rim before playing above the rim was fashionable.
I tried to tell people, Darnell, people that didn't get a chance to see him play. My brother, we were in high school. My brother had like 25 different dunks he could do. He practiced dunks like he was going to be in a slam dunk contest. And talking about playing over the rim at 6'4", oh, my God, my brother had hops.
Yeah, he should have been. on that same team that they have the McDonald's. I remember McDonald's All-American Classic.
Yeah.
I was able to play at the first McDonald's All-American Classic with Magic Johnson, with not Bernard King, but Albert King.
Albert King, right.
Ray McCoy, and I mean, you talked about that was my first. If Patrick hadn't showed me hadn't exposed me to how high guys could play, I wouldn't have been prepared for that game.
And you know, the bad thing about my brother, and it's, you know, nothing that had to do with him, it's just the situation he was in. At our school, we didn't have any big guys, so my brother at 6'3", 6'4", had to play center. And when it came, you know, to go to college, that's what kind of held him back. He had to go to a smaller school because he had been playing center at 6'4". So if we had a big guy, my brother had to play guard, he'd probably been alongside you being drafted in the first round of the NBA.
Well, you know, the thing is, Cordell, players aren't pigeonholed anymore. They're not. He would have been. Timing was just not in his favor.
Exactly.
Because he would have been in this day and time. Yeah.
No question. Darnell, I just wanted to thank you. I called Darnell. I texted Darnell last night at about 9:30, scrambling for a guest. Going through my Rolodex, came across my Kansas native Darnell Valentine. Text Darnell, I need you. He texted me back, you guys. He says, I can do it. I'll do it for you. You know, we're going to promote our Jayhawks. We didn't have time to talk about the other three teams. We really don't care. But anyway, Darnell Valentine, good luck to your Kansas Jayhawks. We at KTSW, we really appreciate you taking time out to join us.
Oh, if I could just say one thing before we leave. I like our Kansas, and I really, this is just not wishful thinking. Every time that we won a championship, we've been the underdog.
Yep.
We play better when we are not expected to do much. This is probably the least talented team Kansas has put on the floor in probably 10 years. And I'm saying they're coming together, and their stories are remarkable, and they believe in themselves. I like Villanova. They're tough.
They're tough.
Who's going to make shots? And I'm going to put my shot makers against their shot makers and see what happens.
That's right. Rock chalk, baby.
Yes, all right. And also, shout out to my boy LaMarcus Aldridge. He's one of my best friends, and wish him all the love and the best. Thank you, guys.
All right, Darnell. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You guys, happy Easter. Bye-bye.
All right. Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
All right, you guys in the studio, I got to go, man. I've spent enough time with you. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles. I got to hit the streets.
I feel that LA weather. You gotta soak it up, man.
Got to soak it up, brother. You guys have a great weekend, okay?
All right, Cordell. A pleasure as always.
Talk to you guys next week.
All right.